Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Katie, and today I wanted to do a little bit of a walkthrough of the Close to My Heart albums that are going to be released through Stampin' Up coming July 3rd. So this is going to be the last round of Close to My Heart exclusive items being released through Stampin' Up. Anything further will be Stampin' Up logos and will be available to everyone. So my understanding of how to purchase these items is still through a demonstrator, but it's a demonstrator who was a former maker, or if you were a VIP prior to the closing of Close to My Heart, or if you were a customer with an email address that they had on file. Those are the only ways to purchase it. You can't purchase through any demonstrator. If the demonstrator was never associated with Close to My Heart before, these products, it's my understanding, will not be showing up on those demonstrators' websites, but any former Close to My Heart maker who is now a demonstrator, you can purchase these items through it. So the exciting part is when Close to My Heart decided to close their doors and sell some of their products through Stampin' Up, they were essentially giving the items that were going to more than likely be in one of their mini albums. So all of the products that will be released will be online exclusives, and it's very similar to what the Close to My Heart mini albums looked like. The beloved last chapter of the gnomes, the summer gnomes, will be a part of it. There's some really beautiful paper collections. There's some really awesome stamp sets. There's all sorts of fun things that are going to be released. But I wanted to introduce everyone to the Close to My Heart albums just in case you have never used them before. Plus, this is really exciting, at least for me, and I know for a lot of other people, the flip flaps are going to be available. Not all the flip flaps, some of them in certain sizes, but they will be available to purchase as well. So this is what a flip flap is. If you have never seen or heard of one, I just have a few of them in various sizes. These were the ones that I would typically use. So these are the 3x4. This piece right here has a sticky piece on it, and you just peel it off, and it's very sticky. So once you stick that down to your album page protector, it is stuck. So essentially, and I'm not really going to demonstrate it on a page, but you would glue this down to a page and then it flip flaps back and forth. You can fill it right here with pictures, with cards, with ephemera, with memorabilia, whatever you want to put in them. So there were 3x4s, so you could easily put them either horizontal or vertical in your albums, and you typically put them, I always typically put them right on top of the page protector, right on top of a photo. And then there were some that go 4x6, which is the typical photo size that I use, and these ones obviously go up and down. You could go sideways with these as well, and they just, you fill them this way as well. Same thing. Photos, ephemera, cards, memorabilia, whatever you decide to put in there. And then some where the strip is on this side. And again, you just peel off that stickiness, you fold it over, put it down, and it becomes a flip flap in your album. It's a great way to add extra photos, to add cards, memorabilia, receipts, any of that stuff right in your album. I really love using it for adding extra photos because sometimes you don't have enough photos to make another 2-page spread, but you want to make sure those photos are part of that memory. So this is I'm going to get these two out of the way. I just kind of wanted to show you. Some of these are full albums and some of them are empty. So this one is empty. This is Close to My Heart's 6x6 photo album, and you can purchase separately the 6x6 memory protectors. So these are top loading, which I love top loading. I will purchase side loading if necessary, but I do like the ease of top loading just because you can put stuff in it and take it out. Like, let's say you have an album and you decide, oh, this page does not actually make sense. I need this page 3 pages back. It's super easy to take it out and then put it in another page. With the D-ring binder, it's also very easy to just open it up and reorganize how you have your pages as well. The photo or the page protectors do not come with it. You do buy the page protectors separately, but they will be available during the launch. And what I really like about Close to My Hearts is the way they are branded. And I believe these ones will still be branded with the Close to My Heart logo, and will have that kind of extra gusseted edge. I'm not even sure if you can see it, but it does say Close to My Heart. And then you do have that piece right there. With this particular mini album, I have 1 pack of the protectors in here. You could easily fit, depending on how bulky you make it, 2 to 3 in one 6x6. So this particular color is not going to be available on July 3rd. It is going to be a scarlet color. It's called Scarlet, and it's this beautiful deep red color. Then they will also have a post bound available. So the post bound, which maybe I can get my camera raised just a little bit. The post bound comes like this. So it is literally post bound on the inside. Now this is an old retired one. The one that will be available will be just plain black. All of the albums that are going to be available are going to be in the faux leather style. So the faux leather is actually, I really like these because they actually have a really nice soft squish to them. And I know you're not going to be able to see the squish, but they're definitely a soft kind of squishy album, which I really like, especially when you're holding it and paging through it. It's not too stiff. So this is one of the retired styles of the post bound, but it works the exact same way. The posts are on the inside, so you can see right here I already have my posts in. And I probably have this particular album way overfilled. So I'm really glad to see that there's going to be new albums released, so I can buy new albums and new page protectors and get some of my pages into new albums and kind of get some that aren't even in an album into their rightful spot. So the post bound, they do come with some instructions, but the post bound, again, it is post bound. So this is what the other end looks like. It's really easy. You screw them on, screw them off. What I like about post bound albums is they definitely stick together. They're nice and sturdy. This cover sheet comes sliding in and out. So if I slid it out, you'd be able to see all of the pages I have in there. They stand up nice, they lay flat nice, and they just look more like a traditional album that I think we're used to seeing. So this one, again, I might have it a little overfilled. It all really does depend on the bulkiness of your albums, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 pages in here. And again, it depends on how much bulk you have and how many added decorations and all that good stuff. So there's going to be such a glare on this, so I won't go doing a share quite yet, but just kind of wanted to show you how they open, where the posts are, and then I'll show you quick. And again, sorry for the glare. These are ones that I need to add to the flip flaps, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and do that. This is how I do the flip flaps in my albums. So I already have, I know this is the album that I want for this particular, I guess, genre. So this is more like our outdoor camping, 4th of July kind of summer fun album. So I know I'm going to keep this in here, because the thing with the post bound is obviously to take these memory keepers out, you do have to undo the post, get all of them out, redo them, and put the post back in. So this not so easy to just switch pages in and out. Now what I do like about the memory protectors is these are indeed top loading. So if I did want to switch these out, if I decided nope, I don't want this to be that album anymore, I could easily take this out and just switch it to another page. But I am going to be keeping these. This is our Outdoor Fun, Outdoor Adventures album. And I am going to add the flip flap of the other photos right on here. So this is just a camping trip that we do every year. And I know I'm going to want these photos of everybody else's camper. I'm going to make sure I have those the right way. So I'm going to put them in to the flip flap. And take off the tape. And again, this is super sticky, so you can kind of hear it. It's really, really sticky. So I'm going to make sure that I have it lined up exactly where I want it. And I do have that photo upside down. Now, if you do put a photo or memorabilia or anything upside down, do not worry. You can take it out and flip it over because it is not sealing it, the flip flap. Like this does not seal it. It's not sticky on this side. It's only sticky on this side. So it's only sealing it to the album. So I'm just going to make sure I have these lined up correctly. And then make sure I have it lined up on my page correctly as well. And I am just going to glue that on down. Now a bone folder would be really nice. Here's my bone folder. If you want to use your bone folder and just kind of burnish it down, and then it is going to be there. So then you can do that and you can see the photos, and this one will need to be this way. So you see I had the photos in wrong, so it's as simple as literally flipping it and going the right way. So then you can see I have everyone's campers in here, and right here I can write this was, you know, Josh's, this was ours, this was my sister's, and the flip flap is there to add extra photos without adding extra pages or extra bulk. Now I will be doing eventually the same thing to these pictures over here as well, just to kind of show how the flip flaps work. And then the other thing I really like about the postbound albums is the way the 2-page spread kind of sit flat. You can see because it has that gusseted edge to it when it sits in the album. And again, mine might be over bulked, it may be a little too bulky, but when you see it, they're pretty close to each other, so the pages flow one to the next. And again, sorry for any glares. We're definitely going to be seeing some glares on this because they are in the page protectors, and these are definitely ones I had intended on putting in flip flaps, but you can see the pages flow together without a big gap in between. So that is the postbound. And here is the D-ring binder, and it is exactly how it sounds like. It is a D-ring binder, so it's just like a binder that, you know, you probably use at school. It is definitely higher quality. I would not use a binder for my memory keeping that you can purchase just at the store or at the office store, you know, any regular grocery store or anything like that. I would definitely, if you like the D-ring style, I would definitely use this one. It's definitely hard. It's nice and sturdy. It is that faux leather. It does have a bit of a squish, but not quite as much as the 6x6, but it's still, you know, it has good strength to it. The things I don't like about the D-ring is because it needs to hold the 12x12 paper pack. It is quite large. I'm just gonna measure it real quick. It is about 15 inches wide by 13. So it is quite large. So it really couldn't fit into a small child's lap to be able to have them sit and look at it. You'd probably need a coffee table or some sort of table to put it on. So that's one of the downfalls of it. What I do like about is the ease of transferring. So what I like to do is when I make my pages, I don't always go in chronological order. Sometimes I don't go in any kind of order. I literally just find paper I like, find photos I like, and make it, and don't have an album for it, or don't have the page protectors for that particular album that I want to use, or whatever my problem is for that day. So if I'm making stuff and I don't have a spot to put it in, but I want to make sure it's in a page protector, I will put it in the D-ring album before I put it in its final home. So that's what I do like about these. The page protectors are gusseted as well, and they are top loading. So again, if I decide, yep, I want to switch this page out with another page, easily slide it in, slide it out, top loading, which is great. The problem is another problem, I guess I would say, when you are looking at it, it's not going to lay flat. So this isn't a 2-page spread, so it doesn't really matter that they don't match, but if I have like this, for instance, it's a 2-page spread. There's that big gap and you see the silver D-rings there. It would be much cohesive and nicer to open up an album and see it like this, where they're kind of all together versus the large gap. And again, I do really like the D-ring just to put stuff in once I'm done creating it, just to make sure that it is in a page protector and protected. Now with this particular one, again, I probably have it overfilled. You know, I didn't have all of the albums that I needed, and especially with their original announcement of Close to My Heart's closing, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to purchase. So this is probably overfilled. You can see there's definitely more than 20. 13, 14, 15, 16. There's over 35 pages, and I like to add some bulk. So you can see like right here, I have some bulk. This is pretty thick. Right here, it's acrylics. So it's pretty thick and it's in there. So anytime you add acrylics or, you know, dimensions or pop dots or anything you add into your album, if it's not flat, this is some wood pieces, it's going to add some bulk as well. So there's over 35 pages in here, and there's definitely a lot of bulk because I like to add stuff to my pages. So for this one, I do not store it this way because the pages, I've noticed if I store it this way, and potentially because I have it too overfilled, it's potentially that I have too many added things to my pages, too much embellishments, too thick, that it'll actually pull down on the top part and almost fall out of the bottom of the album. So for these ones, especially when I overfill them, I do store them horizontally. And that may not be ideal for everyone, but it is currently working for me. I have 4 of them, and I purchased these because I just like the ease of use of, again, switching them around and using them until I find a place to finally put them in. And there is another one being released. It is 8.5 by 11, and it is in the charcoal color. I do not have that one. I've never scrapbooked in 8.5 by 11, so I never purchased it, but it is very similar to this, where it's got the nice little squish. And again, it's just 8.5 by 11, but it will be in a gray charcoal color. Now, the other thing that I wanted to share with everyone and kind of make a bit of a confession of what I actually like that's not close to my heart, but something close to my heart did provide. So when Creative Memories first went bankrupt, or whatever they went through years ago and went through their whole revamping of the company, they stopped making items. And at that point in time, Close to My Heart saw that there was a gap in the industry and started making page protectors or memory protectors for their albums. So this is a Creative Memories album, and this is one of their newer ones. So this is from the new CM, as they're calling it. So the new CM, this is actually a true 12 by 12 fit. I think the other one was slightly smaller. So this is one of the newer albums, and I must say, I really like their albums for a couple of reasons. They're nice and light. They're not heavy. A child could easily put this on their lap and open it up and be able to see all the pages without it being too heavy and too bulky. They use the strap bound method of putting their albums together. They've always done this. They just kind of revamped it when they, you know, rebranded, I guess, themselves back in, I think, 2014. If I'm wrong on the dates, I do apologize. But when they revamped it, Close to My Heart started making their memory protectors to fit into these strap bound albums. And I gotta say, I love it because it's the best of both worlds, to be perfectly honest. And these particular page protectors are part of the release coming out July 3rd. So I'm super excited about that as well. So again, this is one that I have. It has, and they're not all full, it does have 25 pages in here. Now, the only thing that I don't care about it, and this is just how they had to create them is it is side loading. So some people love side loading, and I understand why, because if you are holding or storing your album like this, dust could potentially get in. You know, I don't dust my house all the time. I am guilty as charged, so dust could easily fall into the top. So if it's a side loading, it actually does protect it better. Now this, again, isn't one that is filled with completed pages, so maybe it would kind of get that alligator look to it, but right now, it is quite a thin album, and I can fit a lot more of these on my bookshelf than I can of the D-ring or even the postbound from Close to My Heart. So I was really excited to see that they are coming out with their branded memory protectors for the Creative Memory strap bound. And it will not say that anywhere on the website. It'll just be called strap bound. You get 25 of them in a pack for, I think, $27. It's a really good deal because the 25 can fill one album. So one 25 pack, you have your whole album filled, which is awesome. And with these, you do get that tighter fit. I don't have this tight as I could have it because I don't have all of my pages in here yet. You can see I have tons of blank pages. So once I'm actually done and completed with this album, I am going to kind of tighten it up. And what I love about these Creative Memory albums with the Close to My Heart memory keepers is when I do have them all done, and this will be in here, this is how the pages are going to look. There'll be barely any gap in between, and you will just have like a flowing view of page from left to right, and that I really like. And again, it looks like this right now because I don't have it full and I didn't tighten it all the way. But with these, you just, you know, take this piece off and kind of weave it in and out to tighten it. So I am really excited about that particular release. This is kind of me and my husband's album. I do have more pages that I do need to put in here, and I actually do have more pictures that I need to scrapbook. So I definitely got more work ahead of me for sure, and I'm really excited about that as well. So I hope you enjoyed the little discussion here on all of the albums. Again, I am sorry that I do not have the 8.5 by 11. It's just personally not my style, but it is, again, very similar to the way the 6x6 is manufactured, and the page protectors will be available for that style as well. Please let me know in the comments down below if you found this really helpful, if you're excited for the July release, if you're going to be able to purchase some of the items. And Stampin' Up! Did mention that there were going to be more scrapbook items released soon, and they just said soon, they didn't give us a date, but that will be released to everyone. So you won't have to be a former maker or a former VIP or a former customer. It'll be available to everyone for purchase, which is super exciting. So again, I hope you enjoyed this, and also let me know down below. I showed you a few of these albums. I have quite a few more. If you would like a walkthrough of an album share, and I obviously would take them out of the page protectors because that glare nobody likes, but if you would like to see a album share, just to kind of walk through and get some inspiration of some of the pages that I have made in the past couple of years. So thank you so much as always for joining me. Thank you for watching. Happy crafting, everyone, and I will see you all next time.